if he does go 5-0, that means he's beaten everybody in the division. He's beaten the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Tennessee Titans. He will be in the playoffs. And if he goes 5-0, heck, let's just throw in the first playoff game, right? That's going to be a win as well. That's what we're talking about.
He deserves a statue if that's the case. If he wins a playoff game, I would literally.
Well, are you? Let's just ask this. Let's be real. Are you guys 100% against him being the head coach next year?
Well, no. Listen. If he goes 5-0 and wins a playoff game, if we're gonna, keep up with this fantasy,
right.
It's crazy. There's if you go to the porn websites, there's the Lions fantasy along with the other fetishes. This is that.
The Lions fetish.
This is the Lions fetish. They go 5-0, they win a playoff game. If Darrell Bevel does that, it shows two things. First of all, we're all dreaming. But second of all, that maybe this roster doesn't suck as bad as we think it is. Maybe Patricia was that much of an awful coach. And you get a new GM and you go to war with Bevel. And if it doesn't work out next year, you decide what to do. But no, why can't he win the job? He's not going to, but why can't he?
Your defense just gave up 30 points to the Chicago Bears. Do you really think that against Aaron Rodgers, against Tom Brady, and I don't want to throw in Tannehill, but I'll
Derrick Henry.
Let's go. Yeah, you're right. Derrick Henry. Do we think that that's going to win ball games? If you give up 30 to the Chicago, to Mitch Trubisky, are you going to win your next 4 games?
No. And that's why I said to you, John, at the beginning, this was just a spark. Does that translate to substance? I don't see it either. That's why I'm with you. They're going to get lit up. I mean, facts are the secondary is decimated by injury.
They actually ran him off without a shootout. But that's a different discussion for a different day. There's a lot of people that want to hit on it. Do you agree that the Lions won? Are you pissed that they take your calls, read your texts? It's the Stony and Jansen show on 97.13. Lions have a lot of fun tickets.
Thanks for
Trenches with John at 7 o'clock. But right now, taking a lot of calls. Are you happy or pissed that the Lions won the game yesterday? And before we go back to the phones, we just need to point out, Darrell Bevell did in one game what Matt Patricia could not do in 5. Beat Mitchell Trubisky. If that's not SOL, I have no idea what is. Let's go to Mo in Windsor. You're on the ticket. Hey, Mo, what's up?
How you doing, guys? I'm a big fan of the show. I just wanted to say that, I think this just shows how much of a difference coaching means to the Lions. I know I'm probably jumping the gun because I've been a Lions fan since I was a kid. But, on the sense, it's nice to, have a nail-biter and just see your team pull through, which we've seen so many times where they fail in the fourth quarter. I just have my hat off to Matthew Stafford. I mean, what a performance, 400 yards. So, I was absolutely ecstatic.
Your thoughts on? I understand Matthew Stafford engineered a great comeback, but your thoughts on his interception to a defensive lineman with 9.5 minutes left?
We lost one. What was the long on the phone? But I'm going to speak for one. Horrendous. Pathetic. But yes,
Let's not forget.
predictable.
So, Darrell Bevell did a great job, right? Everybody was excited. Everybody on the sidelines, they came back and they won. I don't want to diminish the fact that that was a great win, and it does feel good. But sometimes these wins can cover up the traits of a team or the traits of an individual or the reason that they are currently not in the playoffs, right? They are not in the playoffs. They have to basically win out, maybe lose one more game to get in the playoffs because their defense has been terrible. And the quarterback continues to cost them at the most inopportune times. You're down 10 points and you throw the ball to a defensive lineman.
But yesterday, and it pains me, and I feel like you and Tom got together with this plot to make me talk good about the Lions. But yesterday,
You did this on your own.
Stafford played well with the exception of his normal Stafford-esque day, which was brutal. He had 3 touchdowns. He threw for 400 yards. The Bears' defense isn't that bad. I mean, he did well against an okay pass rush.
The team looked the same for 58.5 minutes that they've looked all year long.
They only had a week of practice with the new guy.
I want to ask, where's the substance to say, okay, let's go down, Rigger Playoff Boulevard and think that there's actually an opportunity here?
It's
I
still
would say
under construction.
there's 2 minor things. I'm impressed at the overall offensive output with Galladay and Swift hurt. And therefore, when those guys return, and there's a good chance they come back this week, that the offense could be even better. And then number 2, there was a little bit of a pass rush in the second half yesterday. There were the defensive line, and they did get to them, and they're the ones that actually created the opportunity to win the game. It wasn't engineered by Stafford. It was the defense that made a play that you've never seen as a Lions fan in your life. So those are the 2 microscopic things, but come on, man. Let's have fun for a day. They didn't hurt themselves that much in the draft standings when push comes to shove long term.
I agree. I'm just trying to make sure that people don't buy into, we're going to go 5-0 in our last 5 games, because you're not going to change overnight who you are. And I just want to caution all of those individuals like myself, and I'm looking in a mirror as I say this. Yes, we thought that throughout the course of the season, there were moments where, it's starting to click. We're starting to get it. We could be good. We could be a playoff team. And then you put up a goose egg in Carolina. I can't get over that loss. And then you play in front of...
Don't forget that part.
Right. But I'm more concerned about the goose egg, right? They only allowed 20 points to an XFL quarterback, but they didn't score any.
And I think what me and John are this morning is basically we're looking at yesterday's win as Gurley light. That they were gifted a win yesterday.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it all. I'm going to say it. Heed my words. Go crazy. We don't get many of these. Screw caution. Enjoy it. And hope like hell they beat the Packers. What if I told you that you fire a rocket scientist and then you go 5-0?
This guy.
Let's go to Tom in Walled Lake. We got time for Tom. Hey, Tom, you're on the ticket. What's up?
Hey, I just wanted to say I was on the border yesterday as far as root for a win or a loss. But then I heard them say that stat where Matt Patricia was 0-10 against Chicago and Minnesota in that division. And I think anytime a division win is, and the way Chicago beat us in that first game when Smith dropped the pass, I said, I'm rooting for a win here because I'm like John Jansen. I don't think that it's going to matter much in the draft. And so I wanted to win really bad, and it felt good for 1 week anyway. So
Thanks.
That's my...
Don't apologize. It should feel good.
No, it does feel good. The win always feels good. Let's just not get carried away. Let's temper it just a
And
little.
Jeff's getting carried away.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
all I'm saying is maybe, and Tom asked you the question, it was a great question, a great journalistic question by Tom. He said, hey, John, you played the game, could a spark like you saw yesterday change the outcome of a season, like it did for the Lions in 97 when they won, 95 rather, when they won 7 in a row. And then, of course, lost to Philly after Lomas guaranteed the victory, 100-0. However, all I'm saying is, maybe, just maybe, my theory, that Patricia was such a bum, that he was so bad, now that he's gone, and you're going to get another week of practice where the players actually don't hate your guts, maybe, just maybe, you make it close against the Packers, and you give us another game to watch against the Titans. That's all I'm saying. But Tony Ortiz has a sports update. He's going to do that next, and then John Jansen's going to take us inside the trenches, where I would crumble because I'm small, but John flourished.
Yeah, and you just added a topic to the In the Trenches. We may have to extend this segment by a few minutes.
What did I say?
We'll cover it
Oh,
next.
Tony Ortiz next, then John 97 on the ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. A radio.com sports station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by Roxy Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Mother Waddles. The Lions would overcome a 10-point fourth-quarter deficit on Sunday to beat the Chicago Bears 34-30. A victory that made Darrell Bevel a winner his first game as the Lions' interim head coach. That victory also moves the Lions to within a game of the Minnesota Vikings for the last wildcard spot in the NFC. Vikings were able to take over that spot thanks to a 27-24 win in overtime over the Jacksonville Jaguars, while the Arizona Cardinals got hammered by the Los Angeles Rams, 38-28. Meanwhile, in primetime last night, Kansas City clinches a playoff spot in the AFC, defending champions beating Denver 22-16. Sunday turns out to be a very good day on the hardwood for Michigan and Michigan State. Wolverines thumping Central Florida 80-58 at Chrysler Center, while the Spartans defeat Western Michigan 79-61 at the Breslin Center. A contest that Tom Izzo said afterwards is a lot closer than the score might indicate because of the crazy schedule that the Spartans are currently on.
We just played our third game in, I think, 5 or 6 days. We're going to play 4 and 8 days. 2 we're going to be on the road against ACC teams. We did not practice at all. We had a walkthrough and a film session. This team can't do that.
Jim Harbaugh's weekly press conference in Michigan has been postponed until later in the week as the Wolverines continue to recover from an outbreak of COVID-19, which saw 14 members of the football program test positive for the virus over the last week. An update on the Michigan football program could come tonight as the man who never sleeps, John Jansen, hosts Inside Michigan Football beginning at 7 over on AM 950. Officials at TNT confirmed the legendary Marv Albert will return to call NBA games this season. However, the 79-year-old Albert will work remotely out of a studio in New York City because he's at high risk for COVID-19. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and radio.com.
In the Trenches with John Jansen. Powered by BetQL. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL app today or visit BetQL.com.
All right, 7:03 in Motor City, the Stoney and Jansen program. It's time now to go. I wish I had a cool voice. In the trenches. John Jansen. Hey, John.
I want to thank Mr. Ortiz for the shout out there. And it's
A man that never sleeps.
It's football season. You don't sleep during football season. And I want to start because you had mentioned something earlier today about a spark. Can it create something? Can you have that moment that all of a sudden everything turns around? And my short answer to that is yes. Will it result in a playoff run for the Detroit Lions? I don't think so. It's possible, but I want to give you an example. In 2001, the Washington Redskins started out 0-5. They went to San Diego and got the doors blown off of them, 3-30. All right, and I was on that offensive line, Junior Seau. It was a disaster. And then 9/11 happens, and we played the next Monday night game in Lambeau Field. It was an epic moment, and it was an epic moment for our country because it was Monday Night Football coming back from a week off. It was an epic moment for every Green Bay Packer fan. Not so epic for the Washington fan base because we lost 37-0. And this was Marty Schottenheimer's first year as head coach. We proceeded to lose our first 5 games. And then all of a sudden, against the Carolina Panthers at home, LeVar Arrington, I can't remember if it was a fumble return or an interception return for a touchdown, and it sparked a 5-game winning streak. We ended up we were 5-5, and then by the end of the year, we were 8-8. The week before Christmas, we were playing the Bears at home. If we had won, and we lost that game 20-15, we would have been a wild card team. Because we finished up 8-8, that would have given us our 9th win. That would have allowed us into the playoffs. So we started out as bad as you can possibly start off, and we found a way because of a spark. Now, the spark that we had against the Chicago Bears, could it be the same type of spark? Sure, they could run off 5 wins, but I don't see it happening because it doesn't change who you are. We were close after those first 2 blowouts. We were in some of those games. The Lions, yes, they've been in some games, but they've found a way to lose double-digit leads. I don't think that this is going to carry over for a trip to the NFL playoffs.
And John, that's why I'd like to see the substance out of yesterday, that anything was different whatsoever from this entire season, other than they caught a break in the last minute and a half. Now, they created the break, don't get me wrong, but Stafford threw the dumb interception. That's been routine all year. The defense was Swiss cheese for the majority of the game, and I would argue that Matt Nagy actually cost his team by not running Montgomery more in the second half, but there's no substance out of it. But you're right about the spark can trigger things. I mean, I mentioned last week that the Jags were 4-7 in 96, and then ran the table and made it all the way to the AFC title game, pulling off 2 upsets in the playoffs. And there's another example, 3-4 years ago, the Chargers did it. They were 4-7, ran the table, went to Cincinnati, won a playoff game, and lost to Peyton Manning's Denver Broncos in the divisional round. So you've seen it before. It's just I don't see any substance out of yesterday from the Lions that I can take going forward yet.
Nobody's asking for substance, though. It was just 1 win in a really bad year. Now, if they beat the Packers, then that's really substance. Like, look at the Giants. They're in first place in the NFC East, right? But they go on the road and they beat the Seahawks. They were 8-3.
Yeah, and I know Valenti will hate this, but they've given up 46 points in the last 3 games. Their defense is playing well.
Good, yeah.
And here's the difference between the Giants that you're talking about this year and the team that I was talking about with the Washington Redskins back in 2001. That turnaround happened earlier. That spark happened earlier. To me, this is just too late. Ours happened in week 6. This is happening in week 12, and I don't know that it's just a false sense of confidence. We can get this going. But here's where I wanted to go with the in the trenches, and I would love to get your guys' take on this. Mel Tucker on Saturday. I continue to gain respect in what he does. Now, you look at the results and say, oh, they got blown out by an undermanned Ohio State team. You can talk about that all you want, but what he has done there in regards to beating Northwestern, to beating Michigan this year, to developing a mindset on the sidelines, to developing his leadership, to developing a working relationship, let's call it, between him and his players. In the third quarter, with I think it was 38 opportunity that you're not going to come back, but they do have some momentum. There are two personal unsportsmanlike conduct penalties back to back. The second one was obviously Mel Tucker, a misunderstanding between him and the officials. The first one was a player had a bonehead move where he tackled a guy near the sidelines and then drove him out of bounds, and it didn't need to happen that way. He got called for the penalty. He came to the sidelines and Mel Tucker ripped his ass, as he should have. Now, the penalty that was called on Mel Tucker was a misunderstanding like we talked about between the officials. I want to go back to something that happened for me and relate this to what Mel Tucker is developing with his teammates. In 1995, I was a redshirt freshman getting my first couple of starts, and Lloyd Carr was an interim coach. We're playing Miami of Ohio, and we've got a three-step drop. My responsibility at right tackle is to run out and cut the defensive end simply to get his hands down. Even if I miss, my body going at him makes him actually like try and defend his knees. So it puts his hands down. I thought better. I'm going to set back a little bit, and then I'm going to attack him. Well, he tips the ball on the pass because the throwing lane is not there. He intercepts it and runs it in for a touchdown. We go to the sidelines, and because this was on, remember the old Pass Network?
Yeah.
This game was broadcast on the Pass Network, so there wasn't as many TV timeouts. Thank God. And so they kick off, and Lloyd still hadn't figured out what had happened, who was responsible for Miami of Ohio scoring a touchdown. We're on the field in the huddle waiting to, get the play call, and Lloyd comes down the sidelines, just ripping me from the sidelines. And I do what any other 19-year-old kid would do out in the middle of a field. I put my hand to my ear like I can't hear him. Right? Yeah, but Coach, what are you saying? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. He was so furious, and it did not pass. We ended up going down and scoring, but we came to the sidelines, and he ripped me up and down. And it wasn't because he didn't like what I was doing or he didn't like me as a person, right? And that's what people go to so much. You see Tom Izzo rip Aaron Henry, and everybody says, oh, you can't do that. You can't talk to a player that way. Mel Tucker rips his player. Lloyd was ripping me. I was upset, not because I was getting yelled at, but because I let my teammates down. I did something that was detrimental to my team. This player from Michigan State, and I'm not going to call him out by name, he did something detrimental to his team. Now, did it cost him the game? No. Did my play cost us the game? No. But at some point, Mel Tucker has set the precedent that you do not act like this. This is unacceptable. And that is why I think that this Michigan State football team has the right leadership. It's going to take a few years, all right, to get to championship level play. But I do believe, and as the year goes on, that Mel Tucker is the right fit at Michigan State because of the way that it's not just a, hey, pat on the butt, you'll do better next time, you'll make a better decision. No, you've got to make that point. You've got to make sure that that player and your team understands that that's unacceptable. In the Trenches is powered by BetQL. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL app today or visit BetQL.com.
All right, we'll come back. A lot of people want to talk about the Lions. We're going to push news back one segment. Did you hate the win yesterday? Did you love the win yesterday? So many people fired up on a Monday where the Lions are set to make a playoff run. I'm kidding. Sort of. 97 won the ticket.
Hey, Michigan, have you been waiting for online sports betting? I'm excited to finally tell you it's almost here, and I've got some good news to go along with it. If you register your account early with FanDuel Sportsbook, you're going to get $100 in free bets once they go live. Yep, you heard it, $100 in free bets. No deposit required. Just sign up, verify your account, and you're all set. FanDuel Sportsbook app is easy, safe, and fast. It's easy to register, make a deposit, and quickly find your bet. And when you win, they'll get you your money fast as well. It is fun. You can have prop bets, live betting, everything that you possibly want. It's easy and fast to place a bet in-game. If you like something that you see, just sign up at FanDuel.com/100free to claim your $100 in free bets. That's FanDuel.com/100free. Must be 21 or over and present in Michigan. Bonus issued a non-withdrawable site credit that expires 7 days after FanDuel goes live in Michigan. $100 is distributed as $50 site credit on each of Sportsbook and Casino. Unique user ID verification is required. Offer ends on go live day. estate gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ-AMI 50 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by the White Stripes Greatest Hits. In Livonia, there's an accident reported at the intersection at 5 Mile and Middle Belt. Walking down the freeways this morning, but there is some road work coming up later on today. A right lane closure is scheduled for 96 eastbound at Kent Lake Road, as well as on 10 Mile westbound west of Shaner in Warren. I'm Michelle Penny with traffic.
97.1 The Ticket would like to remind you that when you text the ticket, standard text messaging rates apply. The White Stripes Greatest Hits, the first ever official anthology of recordings from the iconic rock duo Jack and Meg White, collecting 26 previously released songs from this essential career-spanning album, including Seven Nation Army, He Felt, and more. The White Stripes Greatest Hits out now.
At Bell Tire, we start with the lowest tire price, period. Then we make it feel even lower with free lifetime flat repairs, tire rotations, and alignment checks. And then even lower with 0% financing for 12 months. We also offer a contact-free experience, including stay-in-your-vehicle service and touch-free transactions. So come see your guy at Bell Tire. He'll give you the lowest tire price, period, and more for your money. Bell Tire. See store at belltire.com for details. Restrictions apply.
Does your family need reliable food support during these difficult times?
We do.
My family does too. You're not alone. We'll help take the stress off your plate. COVID-19 has caused many families to fall behind on finances and on groceries, and you shouldn't have to worry about putting food on the table. My Bridges offers access to quality food and income assistance to help families across the state get the food support they need. It's easy to apply and easy to start shopping.
It's one less thing to worry about. Now I know I can provide for my family.
With kids at home, I can even shop for food online at select retailers.
See if you qualify for food assistance to help support your family. Apply for services at michigan.gov/MIBridges. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
We wish you a happy holidays. We wish you a happy holidays. We wish you a happy holidays and a happy holidays. We wish you a happy holidays. We wish you a happy holidays. We wish you a happy holidays and a happy holidays.
Season's greetings and happy holidays from our den to yours. Keep the holidays going with a Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Detroit Lions.
COVID-19 brought to you by CDC and the Ad Council.
Managing today's uncertainty can be overwhelming. Focus on what you can control, even if it's little things, like your before bedtime ritual.
Find more self-care and coping tips at coping-19.org.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is waiting for the previews to start in a movie theater.
Hey, you want anything? Popcorn? Soda? No, nothing?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Advance is helping you get your engine ready for the road this holiday season with the right oil, the right filter, at the right price every day. Get 5 quarts of full synthetic Mobil 1, Valvoline, Castrol Edge, or Pennzoil Platinum with the Mobil 1 oil filter for just $33.99. Plus, this holiday season, get a $25 NBA store gift card and 2 times speed plus points instantly with the purchase of 5 quarts of Mobil 1. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
You decided to upgrade your outdoor deck. So you ordered the essentials. A power washer, a set of patio chairs, and a shiny new grill. Then you use your Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential deck addition, a bird feeder. Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more-rewarding. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
I bought football tickets for my husband, and now I'm in a football bubble. All I see online are articles and ads about football. I hate feeling manipulated. I downloaded DuckDuckGo, and I saw a difference right away. Get privacy online with DuckDuckGo.
Hello, Detroit. 'Tis the season to switch to WOW Superfast Internet 100 for $34.99 per month. Get more internet speed for a great price. See how you can get a $200 Visa gift
the
to
law. Because maybe it's
17755
the
Reno
draft
Street.
choice, or maybe
In
you're
2.6
happy
miles,
because
turn
you
left
like
onto
being
West
able to
14
feel like
Mile
they actually
Road.
win. And by the way, let's not forget that Matt Patricia never beat the NFC North. He beat the Packers once in the final game of the season in his first year. Aaron Rodgers faked a concussion. So, I'm sorry. One time they win a football game in thrilling fashion. My goodness. Like, it's amazing, guys, how many people are angry at me because I'm not pissed they won the game.
But they've won in this fashion before. Like they beat Atlanta. And Tom brought this up a number of times already, and we were just talking at the break. Like this was, and the Atlanta game was a gift. Here, please win the game. This was a gift from the Chicago Bears.
But hold on a
Please
second.
win the game. And I am going to celebrate it. It's a win. It's a great win, but it's a gift. They were up by 10.
Hold on, but
They had intercepted the football.
And let's go, John. We were talking in the break, and let's throw it out there. How stupid it was for the Bears to drop Trubisky back on a 5 or 7 step drop and not just get rid of the ball quickly. For him to recklessly hold the ball down at his waist like that. Look, the Lions made the play and they took advantage of it, and kudos to them. But a broken record for 58 and a half minutes. Did you see anything different yesterday that you've seen all year?
I was watching
adjustments at the half.
I was watching the game.
And Matt Nagy not running.
I watched it. I taped it later, so I knew what the outcome was. And I was watching it last night because I like to fast forward and rewind and do all that stuff like football players like to do. And with like 4 minutes left in the game, I knew the outcome. And I was watching the game going, I don't know how the Lions win this game. The Bears completely fell apart. With 3 minutes left in the game.
For the Lions for the first time, and I understand you saying that, but the Lions for the first time, maybe in what seems like an eternity, made a freaking play on defense. Like maybe Mitchell Trubisky was holding the ball down low on his hip because he was playing the Lions and had this sense of security saying, I dominate Detroit. But Aquara gets the strip sack. Lions score the touchdown. You get a stop on 4th and 1. Allen Robinson loses his mind and decides not to pick up the first down. Was it given to them? Sure. But it was also kind of taken by the Lions. But if they beat the Packers, then we'll see what happens. Nobody's saying they're making the playoffs. All I'm saying is I was thrilled a little bit by yesterday. That's okay,
In 1
isn't
mile,
it?
turn left onto West 14 Mile Road.
You're not allowing it.
Be thrilled. Be all you want. Hey, it was a win. I texted some friends last night. I've got some friends in the organization. Hey, every win is a good win. They fought hard, right? They fought to the end. They didn't give up. That's great. But today we wake up and we have 4 games left, and we're staring down the barrel of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And then you've got Derrick Henry. Then you've got Tom Brady. And you go right down. He's washed up, yes. But it's I'm celebrating. This is me celebrating.
I know what you're
I'm not getting too high. I'm not getting too low. It just is a good win. Let's not get carried away.
I am just saying it felt.
You're getting carried away.
I'm not getting. I'm not
You're
getting
getting
carried away. I am
You're
not
getting carried
negative
away.
Lions
You think
follower.
Darrell
No.
Bevell is going 5-0.
No.
They're getting a playoff win.
Be great though. Be great.
Would be great.
Feels good. Feels good to talk about a win, but everybody else is just pissed. Let's go to Dwayne in Detroit. You're on the ticket. Hey, Dwayne, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
At the light, turn left onto West 14 Mile Road. Then turn right onto Inkster Road.
It's supposed to mess up our draft stock or something like that, but I'm not going to do that because it don't seem like we draft that early. Don't do this.
Well, there's going to be a new GM. And historically, no, they haven't drafted extremely well over the past 6 years or 2 decades. But
Right.
I do think, but here, go ahead.
Don't you think Stafford wouldn't it be better off if Stafford played more of football offense all the time? It seems like the Lions are more in games when they're more fast. You know, our defense is going to give a 30 points.
At the stop sign, turn right onto Inkster Road.
Place our strength. This is our offense. Stafford
It is the offense. The offense is definitely the strength, but the issue is he's playing up-tempo offense because they are always playing from behind. And part of the reason they're playing from behind is because they allowed 30 points to the Chicago Bears, which is a terrible defense, and they...
In 1.9 miles, turn left onto West 12 Mile Road.
Inopportune times. For a 12-year vet, you can't do that.
You know, and what Dwayne said there, that's where, okay, I've been all harping all morning about the substance not mattering, or there was no substance really out of that, but they did rev things up and start going up tempo. So what if Bevel takes that going forward and they start doing that more often? Okay, well, maybe the offense gets better, and with Swift and Galladay potentially coming back, and, you know, the defense did add more pressure in the second half yesterday in spots, so who knows? I just, in the end, to me, I'm not taking anything out of it. It was a good win. It was fun. My 11-year-old son got excited watching it yesterday and couldn't believe they actually did what they did. And he's already talking about playoffs. And I'm like, all right, chill out here a little bit. But I don't want to kill his spirit.
He was listening to Rieger on the postgame, wasn't he?
No, listen, usually I'm very negative. Just one time, guy, unlike Rich Rod, just be positive. My God, just be positive around here. It's got a Russ and Wyandotte here on the ticket. Hey, Russ, what's up with you? You hate the win too, I'm sure.
No, I'm with John, man. I don't care if we win or lose. We're not going to draft right anyway. I want to win. But John brought some great memories up for me. Lloyd was our coach at John Glenn in 77. I can just remember this glare and stare. Imagine with the high school kids so immature.
In 1 mile, turn left onto West 12 Mile Road.
His eyes would burn right through you, wouldn't they?
Oh, them hawkish eyes. But anyway, we can't even play fundamental football. And I'm going to give you, I love the Mel Tucker stuff. And I'm going to tell you why. First quarter, 3rd and 4 or 5, Hawkinson cut short the route from first down markers. He cut it short. My kid is JV head coach at Brother White. He teaches that every day. Go to your marker, make your turn, ball field. Number 2, then they go for it for a half a yard. They pass it out to Agnew, and he tries to make some stupid juke like he's running a front. He gets his feet mixed up where he can't even lean forward for 12 inches. That's fundamental, basic 8th grade football.
Yep.
Put your head down, go. Or go right or left. Don't stutter step and get all messed up. He can't do nothing. He couldn't even lean forward.
Nope.
I think, and you talk about that, come on, best quarterback we've had in 50 years. He can win. Like Elway didn't win until he was 7?
And he got a running back as well. But then he went 2 and left. Now, listen, I think Matthew Stafford should not be the quarterback next year. I think John and Tom both agree.
Yes.
But for the 4 remaining games, maybe he can play his draft stock or his trade stock into a first-round pick. Let's go to David in Royal Oak. You're on the ticket. Hey, David, what's up?
Make a U-turn.
Good morning, how are you guys?
Good, David.
I tend to be happy that they won for this specific reason. And I do think that momentum goes with all of the teams, four major team sports, basketball, football, hockey, and baseball. And I think that any team at any given time, gentlemen,
In 19 miles, take exit 28 to merge onto I-75 toward Toledo.
never got rid of Coach Howard because you're a player that replaced him, not Peppermint Patty, and you're the phone queen, okay? These guys
Starting route to 17755 Reno Street.
The concept that they found well across here. And
In 6 miles, take exit 14C onto M39 and Southfield Freeway.
in the playoffs, Mr. Rogers has support. I don't want to say about he has support in your game championship.
David, are you calling your shot? You calling the shot thinking to beat the Packers?
I'm going to back up.
Oh, see,
Please
that's
call
what I'm
back.
talking about.
Call back Monday.
That is the Brett I'm talking about, my friends. Oh, yes. All right.
See, this is what you're selling. You're selling hope.
I'm not selling anything.
You're
reaction. Oh, God.
I didn't go there.
Heather just walked away.
Whipped cream, my face, next Monday morning if the Lions don't cover. Because the spread's 8.5. To me, it is a lock that the Lions cover. That's
Greg, please make sure that you clip this, and we will run it back. We'll have to do it in the 9 o'clock hour because we will be on Twitch. And
is this something we're going to have to wear my mask?
I'm losing up. Don't forget your goggles. I'm loosening up the arm.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
Get my box right now.
Yeah, yes, it is. A St. Clair Shores homeowner is offering a $10,000 reward for any information as to who and why somebody actually threw an explosive through his home front window. This homeowner says that just after midnight on Saturday, while he and his girlfriend were upstairs in the master bedroom, this loud boom just erupted downstairs. He says smoke was filling his house, a hole was left in his living room floor, glass was shattered, there was cracks in the ceiling from this explosive device, and he believes maybe he was targeted due to his political views. He had Trump signs in his front yard and still does. But he doesn't know who did this, and he obviously wants to know who was trying to basically kill him. And if you have any information, you're being urged to contact the St. Clair Shores Police Department.
That's why you need one of those Ring doorbells, so you can see everything that happens, including somebody trying to throw a bomb in your front window.
Well, it actually sounds like this was caught on some surveillance video. I don't know if it was a Ring doorbell or another type of camera, but they do have video of this man running towards the home, throwing this device, and then fleeing in a truck, I believe. So there is some video out there of this, but obviously there wasn't enough to identify who this person was.
We talked about this last news segment. Like, why? Not that this is any excuse, okay? Nobody condones this sort of behavior. But why are so many of these political signs still up?
Because it's just not good. Because it's not over, right? It's not over there, and it won't be over until there's an inauguration.
And people will still have signs up even after that. Some people will. I mean, I don't know. Just how it is. I mean,
in 10 miles, turn right onto 4th Street.
Get a jump start on it.
We're scheduling.
Let's keep it.
If you watched SNL on Saturday, not only would you have seen a spoof of Rudy Giuliani's Michigan voter fraud hearing, that was their cold open, but you also would have seen Eminem actually pop up in this cameo while Pete Davidson performed this Christmas parody of Eminem's song Stan. This was actually, I think, an amazing skit. I think they did a really good job with this. So it was about an obsessed Santa fan, Stu, who was played by Pete Davidson, and he really wanted a PlayStation 5 for Christmas. That's all he wanted. So just like in the song Stan, who is an obsessed Eminem fan, he wrote this letter to Santa, but things didn't go that well, and the PS5 ended up underneath the tree of the real Eminem.
Shady from Santa. That's crazy. A PS5? I didn't even ask for this. I guess Shady must have been a good boy this year. Sorry, Stu.
And, man, I didn't know he was rocking such a, thick beard, Eminem. I haven't seen a photo of him, I guess, in a long time, but I was looking at that. I'm like, is that beard real? Yeah, COVID. 2020.
2020 on it. That just goes to show, though, I mean, PS5s are so hard to get that even Eminem is excited when he gets one. Accidentally.
Exactly.
Have you seen them? They are impossible to get.
Yes, they're very, people are being scammed left and right.
I went to the mall the other day, the GameStop at the mall. Again, yeah, it's on the Great Lakes Crossing last Sunday, I think it was. And I walked in, I wanted to buy the golf game. And I walked in, I'm like, you guys got any of those PS5s? And the guy just laughed at me. The clerk laughed,
yeah.
He's like, you're a dumbass.
Right. And people are paying outrageous amounts of money to buy these as well off of, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, all sorts of different things. It's pretty wild, yeah. punching the bear in the eye. Okay? And thankfully, the bear let go of Buddy. The bear didn't attack the man, and the bear ran off. Buddy was taken immediately to a vet where they thought, you know what, he's not going to make it. There's no way. But somehow, miraculously, Buddy is expected to make a full recovery.
That sounds like a description of yesterday's Lions-Bears game.
Punching him right in the eye.
Lions got up, punched that bear right in the eye. Nobody thought the Lions would survive, and look at them now. They're still in the playoff hunt. We'll see about that, John.
Hey, the only safer way would have been a cream pie to the face.
By the way, I'm sorry. I know I'm just filling in, but I had to. I'm sorry, guys. I texted Roberto. Tom said he would take a cream pie to the face. Isn't it too?
Awesome. So a scene from the movie Elf basically came to real life in Boston recently when a son met his father for the very first time. So there's this guy, 43 years old, from Maine, Doug Henning, and he was able to connect with his biological father through Ancestry.com. And over Thanksgiving, his dad flew to Boston so that they could meet for the very first time, which is so touching, right? But the son decided to dress up exactly like Buddy the Elf in the movie Elf, okay? And when he met his dad in the airport, he created the scene where Buddy the Elf actually meets his dad in the movie. And you might remember in the movie, he does a little song. So this guy, Doug Henning, did the same thing.
It's the season later to meet your dad. So mom has dad, then Buddy the Elf.
Now, the thing is that the father probably thought this guy was a complete lunatic because the father had never seen the movie Elf. Imagine that. Meeting your son for the first time in an elf costume, singing like that.
Well, hopefully the sense of humor was in the DNA.
Yeah, let's hope. It sounds like they probably had to make some time to actually sit down and watch the movie together as well, but still pretty funny.
Thank you, Heather, with news coming up next. So many rumors. Will Jim Harbaugh sign an extension? Will Michigan play Ohio State? We break it all down next on 97.1 The Ticket.
Hey, this is John Jansen here on behalf of Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Anyone who loves sports as much as I do knows just how important the team is.
Stay in the left 3
I'd like to
lanes.
tell you about my friends at Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bill, Tim, and their entire fantastic team. They help customers just like you get into the vehicle that you really want. They listen to what you need and they make it happen. It sounds simple. And I'm here to tell you that if you're in the market for a new vehicle today, give the team at Southfield Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram a chance to earn your business. And don't miss out on the big finish sales event going on right now with employee pricing for everyone. That's employee pricing for everyone. You can't beat that. Get into a 2021 Ram 1500 for only $399 a month, sign and drive. I love my Ram. You will too. Whether you live in Birmingham, Allen Park, Novi, or Warren, you are only 20 minutes from Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Experience the Southfield difference today. Visit them online at SouthfieldChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. All roads and all towns lead to Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at 11 and a half and Telegraph.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Flame Heating and Cooling. It's been a pretty quiet drive on this early Monday morning, accident-free right now, light traffic through existing road work. Coming up this morning, there is road work scheduled to block the left lane for 75 northbound Gratiot Avenue connector until Wednesday afternoon. There's also nearby periodic double-lane closure scheduled for northbound Gratiot Avenue during that time as well. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
If your furnace sounds like your friend who can't quite play any song right on the guitar, don't hesitate. Call the experts at Flame. That's Flame Heating and Cooling. Go online now to flamefurnace.com or call 888-234-2340. That's 888-234-2340. This radio Radio.com Sports Minute is brought to you by Paulson's Audio and Video.
This is Boomer Esiason with the Radio.com Sports Minute. Sponsored by Geico. Do you rent your home? Geico makes it easy to bundle renters and car insurance. Go to Geico.com today. Seattle was yesterday's biggest loser. The Seahawks had trouble scoring and moving the football against the rugged, physical Giants defense. Chicago has now dropped 6 straight following a surprising 5-1 start. The Bears blew a 10-point fourth-quarter lead to the Lions, who were playing their first game under interim head coach Darrell Bevell. This is why you don't fire Adam Gase. Elsewhere, Philadelphia had no shot against Green Bay, where Aaron Rodgers joined the elite 400 touchdown pass club. He's the fastest to get there in 193 games. Carson Wentz looked lost and was benched for rookie Jalen Hurts, who may be the starter moving forward this week. And the Chargers were absolutely humiliated at home, 45-zip by the Patriots, who have now clawed back to 500. Bill Belichick and company knocked Justin Herbert down a few pegs in his Rookie of the Year quest. I'm Boomer Esiason.
When the idea of divorce becomes a reality, you need someone on your side. If you're a man in this situation, you should consider contacting Cordell & Cordell, who has helped men navigate complex family legal issues for 30 years. Visit us at CordellCordell.com to learn more.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
For the ones standing guard. For the eagle-eyed.
In 1 mile, turn right
For
onto
the
Point
knights
Street.
in shining armor. And for all those who support them. We are Grainger, your experienced safety partner, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, committed to helping keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call clickgrainger.com/safety or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sports are finally back, and if you're watching the games at home, you can still get your favorite wings for takeout or delivery from B-Dubs. And with wings bundles starting at $9.99, there's no excuse not to. So order a bundle of wings and fries from BuffaloWildWings.com or through the Buffalo
Stay
Wild
in the
Wings
second
app,
lane for
because
right.
sports are back, and there's no better way to watch than with wings and fries. At participating locations for a limited time, bundles only for takeout or delivery through BWW's app or website and not valid with any other offer.
I filled this pickup at BP with Amoco Ultimate. We'll go up to 25 miles further per tank on the highway than with regular.
Up to 25 miles?
Yep, we're gonna make it.
We're gonna make it.
I just said.
We're gonna make it.
Drive up to 25 miles further per tank with Amoco Ultimate with Invigorate. Available at BP and Amoco stations. Based on median difference between 93-octane Amoco Ultimate and 87-octane minimum detergent E10 fuels and late model full-size half-ton pickup trucks using EPA highway driving cycle. Assumes 100% of fuel in tank will be used. Results will vary based on what you drive, how you drive, and other factors.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project. Add extra storage the stylish way with Dakota Closet Systems. Like a 75 by 61-inch Java wooden wardrobe closet featuring easy-to-install pre-cut components. Perfect for bedrooms, entries, and more. Right now, all Dakota Closet Systems and storage solutions are on sale. Save big on everything now at Menards. Prices good through December 13th.
At the
Plus,
light,
a Menards
turn
gift card
right
is
onto
always a
Fourth
great
Street.
gift idea.
This is Lila Lazarus. When an emergency happens, don't wait till it's too late to get the care you need. St. Joe's emergency rooms are safe and open, with stringent
In
measures to
4.1
make sure you get the care
turn
you
left
need
onto
in
Court
a
Road.
safe environment. Don't delay care. Visit the ER when needed.
Parents, do you want to save your child's life? 97.1 The Ticket Student Heart Check can help. Make the time to have your child checked. Contact the Ernst Cardiovascular Center at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak. Learn more at 971theticket.com. Text the ticket using the same number you used to call the ticket. Ticket text 248-539-9797. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
That's right, I'm Jeff filling in for Stoney for the week, the Stoney and Jansen program. Before we go back to the phones, a lot of people still want to talk about the Lions and their thrilling, dramatic, mammoth, unbelievably season-changing. Tell me when I've gone too far.
Oh, no, keep going.
You
went there. You've gone there all morning.
Playoff pushing. Yes, 34-30 victory over the Chicago Bears. Are you pissed they won the game, or are you happy they won the game? I know. Why are we asking? Because so many people are furious. But Before we go back to the phones, it needs to be said, some conflicting reports over the weekend about Jim Harbaugh. I saw people on Twitter, and I believe everything I read, John, that Jim Harbaugh is about to sign an extension either today or tomorrow while the Wolverines figure out if they can play the Buckeyes, which they probably won't be able to. Then you see Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk. He seems to be locked in. He says the NFL is coming calling for Jimmy. So if you want to hit on either one, we can get into it more extensively either tomorrow or later on in the program. But if you have an opinion on which one you believe, is he going pro or is he staying in Michigan? 248-539-9797.
I have it on good account that right now none of the rumors are true. That he's already signed or is signing a 3-year extension. They are exactly how you labeled them. They're rumors with no basis. And so we're in the middle of a football season right now. And I think if we go back to when Jim Harbaugh was with the San Francisco 49ers, right, he wasn't going to talk to Michigan until that season was over. He wasn't going to talk about a contract extension, about leaving, or where he was going. I think we can pretty much reliably say that Jim Harbaugh right now is focused on one thing, and that is trying to get things right in Ann Arbor. It's been an absolute struggle trying to get a team available for Saturday to play in the game, which they still want to do. We heard from Ward Manuel last week. We heard from Jim Harbaugh. They do want to play that game. Now it comes down to there's going to be another round of tests this morning. They said they weren't going back till Monday, possibly for team activities. We're at Monday. They're going to have another round of tests and see how those go to see if they can reopen Schembechler Hall and get enough guys ready to play on Saturday.
3-point spread. Michigan's a 30-point dog. To start off, I got to believe that spread would probably go up if they actually can play the football game. If you watch Fox over the weekend, I mean, they were non-stop advertising for Michigan, Ohio State. So, you know, they want to be playing. Rico Beard, who comes up at 2 with Mike, we'll get to it this show, I think, has a great nugget about what might happen with Michigan if they don't play the Buckeyes this Saturday. Maybe they can play them the following Saturday. But let's go to Tom and Wyandotte. You're on the ticket. Hey, Tom, what's going on?
Good morning, guys. Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Tom.
Good morning, Mr. Jansen. I'm agreeing with you, Jeff. Trust me,
Get ready to be made fun of, Tom. That's what these vultures are just going to make fun of you.
And I'm as cynical as anybody, because as a kid, I've watched the Lions from Tiger Stadium, through the Dome, Monty's Prayers, the Big Buck, and it was just something to see guys in the game. I know we're not going anywhere. It just was fun to watch somebody play with some fire. We were at a Thanksgiving Day game a few years ago when Peyton and the Colts were on. And they sat on the sideline, sitting on helmets, and just sitting there waiting for turkey. I mean, I get it, trust me, I get it, but it's just nice to see that sitting on top of the bench, instead of sitting in the seat with your head down.
Stafford was fired up yesterday, too. I mean, he was going up and down the bench, yelling. Fox made a big deal about the fact he was smiling in the tunnel, which I didn't quite understand, but apparently he was smiling in the tunnel.
He ran to get his helmet.
Oh, the expectations are so low here.
Oh, I know, isn't it? It's sad. It's so sad, but that's all I gotta say. It
was fun, right? It was fun. And I agree, it's fun. It was a good
In 1 mile, turn left onto Court
Here comes the butt.
No, it was a good watch, right? It kept you tuned in to the end of the game as a Lions fan, and you win, right? We saw in the opener, in the home opener, even though there were no fans there, your hopes and dreams get dashed when DeAndre Swift drops the ball at the goal line. This is the exact opposite of that. And it's fun. I get it. But it doesn't mean we're playoff bound. It doesn't mean that things are fixed. A lot of victories can cover up some of those things that just drive us crazy.
And that's why I go back to this was Gurley light. This was Atlanta Junior. It really was, because they did all the things that they've done all season long, and then they were gifted something. A bad play call where you have Trubisky drop back 7 steps, hold the ball too long instead of getting rid of it quickly. I agree with them to pass there. I like that teams in the NFL in general are passing to try to end the game. And the Lions got a gift, okay? That's what I've been asked all morning. It was just a spark. It was luck in some ways, or they created their luck.
But see, it was dagger time is what it was. We actually saw dagger time.
At the light,
We are
use the right lane to turn left onto
into
Quarry
it, and
Road.
I cannot believe this is the first reference to dagger time.
Well, listen, dagger time was on Saturday when Sheila decided to fire both Quinn and Patricia. I mean, that was dagger time. That is the true meaning of dagger time. But no, think about it. Tom, it's a little, I want to choose my words wisely. It's somewhat, and again, it makes me sick that you guys are making me do this. It's a little insulting when you say they were given it, because they still had to go make the play, right?
No, it's the luck of the odds over playing Mitch Trubisky all these years that he finally went Trubisky against them.
True, but even if Trubisky gets rid of the football, they're still punting, and the Lions get the ball back down 3 with Stafford having a pretty damn good game, throwing for over 400 yards, so they're probably going to win that game regardless.
Oh, really? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
No, what's probably going to happen is Prater's going to kick a 57-yarder to tie it, and then the Bears are going to return the opening kickoff because they kicked it to Patterson.
This is in 1985, okay? Stop it. Stop being
In 3/4 of a
scared.
mile,
All
turn
right,
left onto
listen.
Colvin Street.
I want to hear from the people. I'm fighting an uphill battle here, and I'm the guy that's usually the negative one. But John says pump the brakes. Tom says they were gifted the win. Heather, even though she hasn't said it, I know she agrees with them. And Greg is just disgusted by the look of me, okay? I want to hear from the people. 248-539-9797. Are you pissed that the Lions won the football game?
In
Or
half a mile,
are you happy
turn
that you
left onto
actually got to
Colvin
see
Street.
one win in a very rough 2020? Tony Ortiz, the furthest thing from rough. Coming up next with an update on 97.1 The Ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. A radio.com sports station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
This update is sponsored by Mother Waddles. Darrell Bevel wins his first game as Lions interim head coach, as Detroit would earn a hard-fought 34-30 victory over the Bears yesterday in Chicago. Following the game, Bevel was asked by reporters if the players gave him a game ball to celebrate that win over Chicago.
I did. Matthew Stafford, presented a game ball in there. It was, just. I can't even describe it. It's just amazing.
Speaking of amazing, Matthew Stafford had a pretty good day. He throws for 402 yards and 3 touchdowns in that victory. That, by the way, the 10th time in his career Stafford has thrown for more than 400 yards in a game. Elsewhere in the NFL, Kansas City upends Denver 22-16. Green Bay beats Philadelphia 30-16. Minnesota defeats Jacksonville in overtime 27-24. The New York Giants would upset Seattle 17-12. Officials in Michigan confirmed in a release last night that head coach Jim Harbaugh's weekly Monday press conference has been postponed until later in the week, as members of the Wolverines football program wait to see if they can return to practice at some point this week. Michigan is scheduled to face Ohio State on Saturday in the annual showdown between those two longtime bitter rivals. There is some good news to report from Michigan this morning, as the Wolverines beat Central Florida 80-58 yesterday at Chrysler Center. That victory keeps Michigan undefeated on the college basketball season. Michigan